Michael. Hi. We're just kind of setting up here. Hey, Brenda Lee. Nova. Hi, Nova. So yeah, it's kind of cold. It's a little different than normal. We're down here in Lake Chapeka. I got a fire going behind me. Hey, Maddie Jack. It's actually not that cold here. It's about, I don't know, in the upper 30s, but it's really foggy. The lake is right behind me, and unfortunately you can't see much out there. Hopefully it'll clear up while we're talking today, but the fog makes it feel colder than it is, I think. So I've got some coffee I'm going to pour over here. The hard thing for me is I'm going to sit over here and I'm going to kind of yak at you for a few minutes. I'm not going to be able to see the comments and be able to say hello to you and acknowledge you like I'd like to. So I hope you talk amongst yourselves, and if you do have questions and I miss them, maybe drop them in the replay comments and I'll come back to them. I do try to rewatch it. Hi, Joyce. Because I'm not going to be able to see. So I think I'm going to yak at you for a couple minutes, and then maybe I'll come in and see if I can see where we're at here. And hi, Michelle. Oh, in Melbourne, Australia, it's 7:22 a.m. It's about 12:30 here. I think Tracy is here too. I love seeing you all pop in. So again, I'm going to sit over here for a minute and then I'll come back. I'm not ignoring you on purpose. So enjoy the fire for a sec. I'm going to pour myself some coffee, and we'll talk about this lake a little bit. All right. Let you guys keep coming in. Really appreciate you being here. Maybe someone could give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. You're kind of far away. I was trying to get as much of the lake in the background, but I think I might move you closer. Just want you to be able to enjoy the fire with me. How's that? Again, there is a lake out there. Okay, I see some thumbs up. Vanya, hi. Glad you can hear me. It feels cold. I'm very bundled up. Lots of layers today. And I can't see you very well, but hi. So while you guys are popping in, I'm just going to remind people maybe that haven't watched before or don't know me. My name's Rebecca, and we're the channel Living the Adventure Full Time. And we're a young channel, and we've just started sharing. We live in a pretty remote area of Washington State, north central Washington, very north central, almost to the Canadian border. And we're just starting to share, you know, the things that it takes to live off-grid and the story of how it came to be, and all the things it takes. And so if you like the content, we sure appreciate the likes and the shares, and maybe subscribe, and we're going to do more lives and more sharing. We're starting to hear from you guys what kind of content you like to see, and so we're going to keep doing that. And so today we are at Lake Chapeka, and it's behind me. You can't see it in the fog, but Lake Chapeka it sits at about 3,000 feet of elevation. It's known as a high elevation lake here. And it's about 150 acres of a lake, and in the deepest spot in the north end is 70 feet. And then the south end is quite shallow. And so this lake is really renowned with fly fishermen. It's an excellent fly fishing lake. They fish here with barbless hooks for trout, and it's a one fish a day limit that you can keep. And so between like May and October, this place is buzzing with fly fishermen. And I'm sitting right now in a campground near the lake that is managed by the Department of Natural Resources, the DNR, the Washington State DNR. That's a state level, managed at the state level. The campground here is kind of primitive. I mean, you can see it has picnic tables, fire rings, it has a pit toilet, there is water on this side. You do need a discovery pass to camp here legally. It's a real, they keep it really nice, I will say. There's a dock over here, but But then just to the right, which is out of the camera, just like right there, there's a fence, and on that side of the fence is the BLM campground, and they have about 8 sites there. I'm going to say, no offense BLM, but I think the DNR manages their site better. But the BLM does not have picnic tables. It's quite rustic. There is one pit toilet. I don't think there's potable water on that side. And the BLM is the Bureau of Land Management, and they are a federally managed organization. And to the south here, or I'm sorry, the north, their campground beyond is the Chapeka Lake Wilderness Study Area, and it's about 5,500 acres of land, and there's hiking trails, and that again is managed by the BLM. Now the DNR manages a lot of land up Chopaka, and they have some study areas there too that are a little bit restricted because they do a lot of educational studies there. And I just applaud both of those agencies for keeping this area wild and really protecting the vulnerable ecosystems here for the animals and, you know, for people to recreate. People hunt here, they fish, they hike, they bird. There's a lot that goes on around here, and it's important to keep these forests and these wild lands safe for us to use. So the wildlife around here, let's see, there's moose. Moose are kind of one of the scary ones here because they'll stomp you. Sometimes you just happen upon them, and they are not something you want to get in the way of. There's also a confirmed wolf pack here now. It's called the Chopaka pack. I have never seen the wolves, but I have seen their tracks, and I've definitely heard the very distinctive howl of wolf, which will make the hair on the back of your neck stand up when you hear it. There's also coyote and bear. Now there's black bear here, and they can be, you know, blonde, red, brown, but they are the black bear species. There's been some talk of grizzlies. It's not impossible that there may not be a grizzly wandering way up high here, but to me, I think we would know, we'd have credible evidence of that because there's so many cattle that free range here in the summers. There's a lot of recreation and hikers up there, and there's also a lot of trail cams between Border Patrol and the different agencies here, and so I would think that we would know, but I would not rule it out. What else? There's lots of birds of prey here. I love coming to the lake and watching the eagles. It's a bald eagle family down here in the north end that I watch during the summer. They have babies in their nests. It's fun to watch the babies learn to fly, and I've seen some kind of very up-close National Geographic-like things happening. The bald eagles hunting fish right from the shoreline, and they also steal the baby ducks out of the reeds, which is brutal, but it is kind of the way of life here. This fire is, I wanted a fire. It's going to get me. What else do we have? Let's see, coyote. We do have a lot of coyote. There's snowshoe hare, and lots of different little critters. And I would say I'm not particularly afraid of the wildlife here. Of course, you always want to be aware, but in a healthy ecosystem like I think we have here, the wildlife wants nothing to do with a human, and they really do leave when you're around. Again, good to be aware. You never want to get yourself in a bad situation, especially with a mother with babies. But I've always said I'm a little more nervous about the humans than I am the wildlife here. Cougars, now that's kind of another story. They hunt you, and so I've had some run-ins with them that terrify me. And then, of course, the other thing I think that is the wildfire. And I have been accused of being afraid of the wildfire, and I will say I absolutely am afraid of the wildfire. It's really no joke. It happens fast, and it's important to respect the land here and keep everything safe. So again, the wildlife doesn't bother me too much. I'm probably more worried about my dogs. I think wolves will take a dog before they would take a human. The coyotes, you know, could sweep in and grab my little dog really fast. So again, we do be aware, but that's that. So I guess I'll share then the legend. There's a legend here at Chapeka Lake, and the indigenous legend is that the Okanagan peoples had a very fierce and known hunter named Chopaka, and the big spirit coyote transformed him into stone. And that's the indigenous legend. There's also one about perhaps a maiden that was transformed into snow or stone, and then it means, you know, kind of high mountain. Because this area has Chapeka Lake, Chapeka Mountain, you know, so there is a geographical piece to it as well. So that is kind of the story of the lake. I'm thinking if I'd let it down. I guess I'll tell one story about, I was here in August. There aren't very many fly fishermen in August, and also if there's a really bad forest fire danger, sometimes they close the lake completely, and so we have it all to ourselves. But August is a month that I can come down and do it all to myself, like today. And one time I was here and I was watching a moose. It was very dry and hot, and down here at the south end, the more shallow end, a moose, I was watching it coming down the hill, and all of a sudden it came down to the shoreline. I thought, oh, it's going to get some water. Well, then it got in the water and it started swimming, and I thought, well, it'll go across the lake. Somehow it got eyed into me, and it started following my paddleboard. And I was standing up, paddling, kind of watching, thinking, wow, this is really neat. And then realized there's no way I could out-paddle this moose. Like, it is gaining on me. And it was kind of a young moose, but still, it's a moose. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? So I sat down on the paddleboard and started slapping, you know, my paddle and kind of yelling and waving. And finally the moose just sort of lost its interest and went across to the other side. And then I watched it go up the hill. And so that was kind of an up-close and fun time. But we've met some good friends down here, and it's a neat lake. So if you're up here and you get a chance, it is accessible from the Totes Coulee side, and here it is. And I think the BLM side is open year-round. Normally, we would not be able to come down here in the winter unless we were in our snowcat, or I was snowshoeing, or maybe if someone had a snowmobile. But it's really an unusual year for us. There's very little snow. We've had a lot of these foggy days. And I'm sad you can't see the lake. It is frozen. It is fun sometimes to watch the coyotes going across. But it might clear up. I don't know. If not, we'll have to come down again. So I'm going to come closer to you guys and kind of jump in the chat with you for a minute. And I was thinking that maybe we could, you know, I'll share a thought with you, and then we could just kind of take a walk. I'll see if I can flip the camera around, and we'll just kind of walk a little bit around this area and maybe down to the lake, and you could see it a little bit better. And then I'll leave you with that. So I'm going to throw another log on here, get some coffee. Ooh, that's good. And I'm going to come up close to you. Okay, Michael, hey. Oh, is Yvonne here? Hi, Yvonne. Yvonne, you've been down here in the summer when we had all the cattle in here, huh? Jimmy Dudley. Hello, Jimmy. Is Cara here? Oh, I hope you're here, Cara. I so identify with you up there, what you're doing. You're such a badass. I'd love to come up there and spend a weekend with you. I imagine it would be awfully fun. Probably hard and fun. I'm trying not to catch on fire. I'm going to try to scroll back. Oh, she's not here. Maybe Yvonne's not here. Oh, Jimmy Dudley says, y'all don't forget about his radioactive music tonight. Oh, that fire's hot. I think I'm going to catch on fire. I got to move. I'm going to move. I'm just going to bring you guys closer so I don't catch on fire. There we go. I got to watch that. Anya, legends, fog, cold, snow, wind, but you look so great in that fire. Aw, thank you. That seems to be home to you. Well, it is. This lake is kind of adjacent to us, and I come down here in the summer. I have a mountain bike, and I have a trailer that I can put my paddleboard or kayak on the trailer and ride the bike to the lake. And so it's pretty fun. It just takes a couple minutes to get down here. And so it's one of my favorite places. And sometimes I wonder why I don't come here down here more often. There's Yvonne. Rebecca, I know exactly where you are. Yes, you are. It's different in the winter, but it's not a very snowy winter, but it is different. Jimmy Dudley, hi. Oh yeah, I was saying, don't forget Jimmy's music show tonight. Jimmy, maybe you want to throw out what time you do that. I don't remember. Nova. Yvonne is better in the summer. I don't know, Nova. I love it in the winter too. At Christmas, when my kids are here, Lance gets out the snowcat, and the kids will ski down here, and then he and I bring the snowcat down. We, hang around a little bit, and then we all head home. But there's not enough snow this year. It is a little windy today. My fire is going nuts. I'm glad that we have a little enough snow. It's not dry at least. There's Maddie Jack. I'll be at Stevens Pass all day tomorrow for ski school. That's awesome, Matt. I hope that I hope it's not foggy and icky. I think I'm hearing there might be some rain. I hope that's not true. Nova says we need huskies to pull us around. That would be fun. I'd love to experience in the winter, Nova. Summer versus absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Okay, Jimmy Dudley is saying 7:30 this evening, and I think that's Jimmy's time, which is in Florida. So that's pretty soon for him. Let's see. That's going to be pretty soon. Michael, Joy, talking to Joyce. So do you guys have any questions? Again, if you're here watching the replay, thanks for being here. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you might consider. And the thumbs up and the likes really help us kind of figure out what kind of content is interesting to you all. Again, if you want to put comments in the replay, I'll try to get back to those. I'm not trying to ignore you. It's just a little hard to see out here today. Oh, Marty B. Hi, Marty. So, Rebecca, it would be 5:30 for us here. Okay, we'll try. We'll try to jump on there, Jimmy. Friday night. I don't think we have anything else going on. Oh, drink your coffee or it'll get cold. I know, I have it in one of these cool little Hydro Flask cups with a lid. So it's staying pretty good, actually. Like I said, it looks cold. It's not as cold as it sometimes is. Michael said you liked the info about the lake. I'm glad you did. And I hope I kind of hit it for you. If you have questions about it, make sure and let me know. Oh, Cassandra, hi there. Jimmy says that we are 2 hours behind here in Washington. We're behind Jimmy in Florida. Is Fred still kicking? I miss that damn donkey. So Fred hasn't been up here for a year or two, Maddie. We've been low on water the last couple summers, and so it's been hard to bring those horses and mares here because sometimes the creek runs dry and we don't have another way to get them water. So we haven't seen him, but I did see their owners, or one of the owners the other day, and she said that he is doing great. He's doing really well. So maybe we'll see him this summer, but I don't know. It's shaping up to be pretty dry. Esmeralda Rubio, hello. It's not as cold as it looks. Oh, you'd understand if we're busy. I don't think we're busy. So how we're down here today, Lance hooked us up. We brought our Starlink down here. I have to say, if you haven't had Starlink, it's kind of a game changer. And so he's been working on getting us all set up. And today, over here off the screen, he has a battery that he had taken out of his snowcat that actually is still good. And he got that charged up. And then he got it all rigged up to plug into our Starlink. And so the Starlink is plugged in. And with this setup, as well as if you had a solar panel, which I think we'll get pretty soon, you could go live anywhere. I mean, as long as you can see the sky, it's really cool. And it allows us to have a lot more access. It's a lot faster. It seems so far really reliable. And it's not that expensive. So, I don't know. I think Starlink might be the way to go. I was hesitant to do it, but now I'm really glad we have. Thanks for the fire legend. You're welcome. It's, here it is. Whoop. You'll see my trailer there with the wood. Oh, there it is. It's still burning. I just like to see you guys for a little bit. Oh, I love seeing you guys all in here. There are 20 likes. You guys, that's so awesome. And it looks like there's 13 of you in here. It's hard for me to know what day and time works for everybody. I know we have people joining from all over the world, and so I just kind of want to play around with times. If you guys have times that work better, drop those in the comments too, and we'll try to accommodate. I'd like to do some different things so we can get different people here. Joyce says it's really cold here too, getting another snowstorm today. My gosh, you guys, so many states in the country are just getting hammered. I feel for you guys. Cold and snowy, and snow in places that don't see snow. That's amazing. You guys take care. Be safe. Okay, we've been on for about 20 minutes. Joyce, thanks for coming, Joyce. See you later. Teresa, hi, I'm glad you made it, Teresa. You need to take care of yourself. It sounds like you do some really important work, and so make sure you rest and take care of yourself. The world needs people like you. Starlink is amazing. I'd love to use it here doing my drive videos. At the moment, I can only record and post. Yeah, Yvonne, if Starlink is available over there, I would try. Yeah, I'd give it a try. I mean, there's a little bit of a startup cost, but even that is not that expensive. And it kind of quickly pays for itself because it just isn't that expensive. You know, considering, maybe comparing. All right, well, I thought we'd just be on for about 30 minutes or so. Australia's getting a major heat wave. A lot of towns haven't gone under 40 Celsius for a week. So opposite to there. Gosh, Cassandra, you are right. It's so weird to think about that you're all the way under and it's such a different season. It's hard to get your head around that sometimes. Brenda Lee, have a good day, everyone. I have to go get the kids. Well, thanks for stopping in, Brenda. Have a good day. Yeah, Cassandra, it is. Yvonne says, I'm going to try to find Starlink, I think. That'd be awesome. You should try it. Let me know what you think. People are saying goodbye to Brenda. Okay, well, I thought maybe I would just share a thought with you guys, and then we'll take a little walk. And I just want to leave you to... Oh, what does that say? I thought you were going live. Uh-oh. Who was that? I want to try to find you. I can't find you. I can't scroll back right now. I don't know. Oh, there you are. Kathy Northwind. I thought you were going to be at 2:30 Pacific. Glad I just happened to see it at the right time. I'm glad you're here, Kathy. Love the fire and the lake stories. I'm glad you do. Okay, Jimmy says he's got to go. He's got to start driving. Just wanted to pop in and say, let y'all know you got your lab work done, and I will see you after a while. Yeah, everybody jump in and support Jimmy tonight. He's got his procedure coming up next week. Keep staying strong, Jimmy. Doing the good things, fighting the good fight. So I'm going to leave you guys with a thought, and then we'll take a walk. So I was thinking about the lake, and the thing that I always am reminded of at the lake, especially this lake, when I come down here and paddleboard, even when there's fishermen around, I like to take my paddleboard. I go all the way around the edge of the lake, and then I usually go down to the north end where it's very, a weepy eye. I go to the north end where it's deep, and the fishermen typically do not fish down there because it's deeper. And so I usually get myself down there. I kind of park myself sort of by the eagles. There's 2 big eagle nests that I can watch, maybe have some lunch, and just listen and observe nature. And I think what I always come up with is how much suffering that there is, because we as humans are just always looking for stability, right? We crave it, we talk about it, we say that, you know, once we're stable, things will be better. Once we're stable, things will start happening for us. And I think that when you spend time close to nature, it really reveals the impermanence of things. And that when we as humans strive for, you know, and looking for stability, and then we're met with the impermanence, we suffer, right? Because it frustrates us. When you listen in nature and observe in nature, and when we take our little walk around, I hope you guys will all do it that are still here. Just listen and observe, and nature will always show you and tell you, and every day it will show you how things change. You know, nature changes every hour, every day, every minute. It's never the same. And I think that's a lesson for us to learn, that life is that way. And the more we try to grab onto that stability, the more frustrated we are when we're met with the impermanence, because the nature of life is change. And so to think about that and maybe reflect on that you know, get yourself outside or somewhere quiet, wherever you are. And even if there's people around, you can still do it. And just watch and listen. and really meet that impermanence, and maybe think about how can we embrace the fleeting nature of life, and just be really present, and maybe even let go of that hard grip on the way we think things should be instead of the way they just are. And when you do that, and when you practice that, it might help you lean into the beauty that is just right now. And so that's what I'm going to leave you with. And I'm going to flip the camera around, take you on a little walk down by the lake. I'm not going to talk anymore, so I'm going to say goodbye here. I will go back and read your comments, and please add comments to the replay that I can respond to if you have questions or ideas or thoughts. And again, if you like this content or you like where we are, please give a thumbs up, subscribe, share. Again, we're trying to grow this channel and see how we can share. And we're committed to doing that in the most real, honest way, and with the most kindness. And that doesn't mean that there isn't incredible challenge and difficulty, because there is. And we're going to share that too. But again, we're going to try to do that kindly. So again, let's just take a walk and kind of watch nature, maybe listen and watch and see how you feel about, the idea of stability versus impermanence, and how maybe it's a good time to embrace the impermanence and the change, because change sometimes feels hard in the moment, but sometimes it's the very best thing for us. So thanks again for being here, and we'll see you on the next one. Here we go. Uh-oh, got Legend in there. There he is. You better wave. You might as well. All right, guys. Have a great day.